let's get started with Aaron Rodgers. He's back with us. He's out of the caves. He has come back from his meditation darkness retreat, and the owner of the retreat actually confirmed with us that he is back with ESPN. And the Packers are hoping for an answer before the start of free agency about what he is going to do. What is Aaron Rodgers going to do with his football future? And that's part of the reason why he said he was going to this darkness retreat, which was new to a lot of us. It was a new experience that you could subscribe to, going and sitting in essentially what is a cave. Part of the room is underground, and you go there and sit in silence and darkness. I did a little research on it this morning. You can turn the lights on if you want to, which kind of feels like
it defeats the purpose of a darkness retreat.
You're just in a dark hotel room. Then,
yeah.
Kind of like a small one. It's 300 square feet, and you have a bed and a bathroom, and they bring you food. So this is
miserable.
This is what the purpose of this is. It doesn't sound fun. No, it does not. The purpose of this was to go sit in silence and decide what he is going to do with his football future. Is he going to stay with the Packers and get around $60 million guaranteed? Is he going to move on from the Packers? And as I mentioned, they want an answer before the start of free agency, which is not that far away. And, of course, you would want to go meditate for a few days to decide if you wanted $60 million guaranteed. Let me not judge. Everyone heals in their own way, I suppose. It was a really big drop-off this year for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, obviously going from winning back-to-back league MVPs to missing the playoffs and losing to the Lions. That's not a great Packers life. That's not the Packers life that Packers fans want. But the Packers do want Aaron Rodgers back under one condition. They want him fully bought in. When has "I know he can change" ever worked for anyone? It's such a strange approach to life to expect people that you know thoroughly. And after 18 years, you should know someone thoroughly. To expect them to change when nothing about the circumstance has changed either. He's actually making more money. And he had to go sit in a cave for a few days, not the full 4 days, of course. He left early after 2 days, to decide if he wants to come back for $60 million. So I'm going to speculate that money isn't the main motivating factor here, or it would be very easy to know what he was going to do. He wasn't committed last year. What's changed about this year that's going to make him more committed to the Packers? It just doesn't make sense to me that you would count on someone being a different human, having a different approach to life, when none of the circumstances have changed. There's not a new coach. You haven't brought in a new haul of free agents. You didn't come off some masterful run. You had a disappointing season, and you're essentially bringing most of the roster back. He's getting paid more. Not a whole lot has changed. Why would he change? Oh, he spent 2 days in the darkness retreat. He was supposed to spend 4 days in the darkness retreat and couldn't commit fully to the darkness retreat. Again, not judging. It doesn't really sound very fun, but you went there to get off the grid. By the way, off the grid, but we have an Instagram. Whole other conversation. Look, I feel like this has been a divorce that's been very publicly happening for the past 3 years. I blame the Packers, as I always have. You very publicly cheated. You very rudely went and publicly drafted another quarterback. We know he didn't have clear communication that this was going to happen, and I've always been on Aaron's side about that. But we know when something like this happens, you're trying to heal the relationship. You're trying to move forward. You're trying to pretend like Jordan Love isn't in the building and you want to know what's going on with him. You're not really committing to Aaron Rodgers as far as bringing in the help that he truly needs. You didn't replace Davante Adams. Aaron Rodgers isn't bought in. He's not working with the young receivers and skill positions. He's not fully invested as a leader in the face of this team in its new form without Davante Adams. It just feels like we're dragging out the end of this relationship. I still think the best place for him is Green Bay, by the way. I don't think it's smart for him to move on from Green Bay because all of the things that he's been don't want to say getting away with, but the luxuries that he's enjoyed by being the Green Bay Packers quarterback, by being someone that's been in the building for 18 years, by being someone who plays in Green Bay and not a New York or a Dallas or even any of these teams in California. You get the grace of being the Green Bay Packers quarterback in Green Bay. You're not going to get that when you go somewhere else. So I agree with Magic Johnson. I agree. Magic Johnson said nobody wants to play the Lakers in the postseason. If the Lakers can get in, and I think they will, nobody is going to want to play them. That's for sure. That's what Magic said. I fully agree. I know that this has been the year to dunk on the Lakers. Everyone has enjoyed, outside of obviously LeBron breaking Kareem's record, the Lakers falling apart and having issues and dealing with Westbrook and dealing with them not winning and the chaos. I know people that hate the Lakers are thoroughly enjoying this. And look, that's fine. This is what rivalries are for. But here's what everyone's going to gloss over with Magic's statement. It sounds funny, like, oh, this Lakers team. Well, this Lakers team isn't going to be the Lakers team that you're going to see in the playoffs, because in order for the Lakers to make the playoffs, they are going to have to play a spectacular stretch of 23 games. They're going to have to be great. They're not going to stumble into the playoffs. They're not going to just lose a couple games and drop a couple places. They have to make the playoffs still. That means you will be meeting a healthy LeBron James, a healthy Anthony Davis, both playing at a very high level. That means that this roster will have come together. The lineups will be functioning. Everything will be clicking. Everyone's going to be rolling if the Lakers make it into the playoffs, because that's the only way they get in. So while surfacely it may sound silly, nobody's going to want to play the Lakers. Okay, this Lakers. You're not going to see this Lakers in the playoffs, because in order for them to get there, all of those things are going to have to happen. And the last time we saw a healthy Anthony Davis and a healthy LeBron James playing at a high level, what did they do? Won a championship. So I actually agree with Magic. Now, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. That part I'm not sure about. But if they do make the playoffs and you look around the West, I got to say, I don't know what will happen. I'm not predicting a championship. I'm just saying, when you first read this quote, it may sound outrageous because this Lakers team has struggled all season long. And you can scoff, but this won't be the same Lakers team that you will run into if they make it into the postseason, because those things have to happen. They have to play amazing for the rest of the season in order for them to get in. Everyone has to be healthy. Everything has to be clicking in order for them to get into the postseason. And that's the Lakers team that you will run into in the West. So I got to say, I don't think it's really that crazy what Magic said. It could be a real problem. All those things have to align. It's a long stretch to go. Everything has to work. Everyone has to stay healthy. There's very little margin for error here. But I'd really have to take a deep breath and reevaluate what Lakers team you're running into when we get to the postseason, which is not that far away, and we're going to see if they're there. But I feel confident that they can make some noise if they get to that point.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.